The reality that you create is based off the frequency that you radiate at. This is something that is not spoken about in spirituality that much. I don't see it. And I'm like, these are the things that I'm learning along my spiritual journey after alchemizing and changing my whole entire life, doing a complete 360. Even I don't recognize myself. I don't recognize who I am, who I've become, and what I've created. And after doing lots and lots of inner work and lots of understanding and spiritual research, I've truly understood what has been going on. And I want to be able to share that with you for yourself so that you can change the reality that you are in. Most people in spiritual work and healing work, they're always trying to connect to something greater, trying to meditate, but you actually have to learn to go inward and go into your density so that you can start transmuting and healing the dense wounds of shame and guilt and apathy and pain. This doesn't mean you have to relive your wounds, but it does mean that you have to not actually transmute as in get rid of, but you have to shine the light into your darkness. Most people are taught in spiritual work to go to the light, focus on the light, focus on the positive, focus on gratitude, focus on heart healing, focus on compassion, focus on everything that's going to take you to the light. But if you go to the light with like a bag of darkness, the bag of darkness is going to keep pulling you down. It really, really is. And I think this is why spiritual work in the beginning really used to wind me up, and I didn't resonate with a lot of spiritual teachers and spiritual people, because they were constantly trying to lead me to the light. And it's like, when you have so much trauma and pain, you're needing to understand to a degree the density of that and how it's impacting you. You cannot connect to your higher self and fully connect to mediumship. You cannot fully heal if you are only working on the higher vibrations up, and you're always trying to connect to the higher vibrations without truly learning to heal the denser vibrations. Your frequency creates your reality. And what I mean by that, and this is actually quantum physics, quantum leaping. So many people, so many spiritual people don't seem to understand that they have a bioenergetic field. They have an energy field. And this energy field, your aura, can be up to 8 feet. Everyone has one. And when your energy field is in its density, you are going to be constantly attracting, creating, and living in density of connections, emotions, problems, and you're not going to understand. And you can't attract that which you do not radiate at. And if you're trying to sorry, I need a drink. If you're trying to radiate something, if you're trying to radiate a higher energy, but you have not healed or understood the density of your lower energies, meaning you have to go into your shadow work, you have to go into your inner child work, you have to learn to sit with and ask yourself questions about how you transmute and connect to the pain that you hold. You have to do things to do that, and over time your frequency will change and grow, and you will start to hold power of energy where your reality has to bend. It has to change, because when your energy frequency changes, your reality cannot stay the same, because you can no longer, beyond no reasonable doubt, attract that which you are not. So you can't attract, when I look at my life, and I don't attract trolls, I don't attract density, I don't attract drama, my life is the most peaceful life I've ever had. And I've had one chaotic life for years and years and years. It's because the energy that I radiate at, the energy field that I hold, does not allow for the density of that to truly come into my field. And when it does, I'm aware of it, and I can understand that it's not mine, that I don't need to absorb it, but this energy field is somebody else's, that I can not repel, but I can protect my own energy field. But when we're talking about creating the reality from the energy field that you are at, this is called quantum physics. And I've done this for years and didn't even realise it. And one of the ways that you can actually start creating the reality that you want is, there is 4 aspects. So as a therapist, as a trauma holistic therapist, spiritual therapist, I focus on 4 areas to help you heal. I focus on the brain, helping you rewire the brain. I focus on your vibration, helping you to understand, change and heal your vibration. I focus on your behavior, understanding your behaviors, where they come from and how, and then focusing on your emotions. And we incorporate emotional self, brain rewiring, vibrational healing and behavioral understanding for you to be then starting to create the reality you want. If you only change your behavior, well, you won't be able to just change your behavior without connecting to the emotional self of that. You won't be able to just think differently if your emotional self and your behaviors are going against you. And you won't be able to change any of the above if your vibration is so dense that it keeps pulling you back to old patterns. So many therapists, especially holistic and spiritual therapists, have no clue that there is these elements that you have to work on. They work heavily with the brain, or they will try and force you into change by getting you to meet your resistance and getting you to understand that you need to change for these reasons. That's why lots of people are coaches. And then you've got therapists that want to let you talk all the time. And talking all the time is really, really, really good. But you need to understand things, make sense of things. You need to learn new ways of doing things while pinning it to the old ways. You need to be able to transmute your energy. And when you do all of that, your life will change. It has no choice. Because if you're challenging the sense of self and the perception that you have over who you are and the way your brain is wired, which you can do slowly, and you are learning a new behaviour, a small new behaviour regularly, they lead to bigger behaviours, and you are sitting with your emotions and validating them and experiencing them, not becoming them all of the time, and then you cleanse your vibration regularly, your reality has no choice but to change. How does it? Think about it logically. If you do all of that, think about it logically, how can your reality stay the same? Because there is a shift that's going on within you. You will create your own shift. And something that is so missed is the vibrational shift that has to happen. When I finally started to really shift my life, I realised I was meditating a lot more, going inward a lot more. So when you're quantumly wanting to shift your life, you have to focus on the brain, in the sense that your brain doesn't know the difference between a truth and an illusion. So if you start visualising what you're wanting to change, one thing that you want to change, or one thing that you want to do or become, then you have to emotionally start connecting to this, feeling the emotions and fueling them, and allowing yourself to, like, God, it'll, you know, when I get this, it's going to be this, blah, blah, blah. You have to then do a small behaviour regularly to lead you towards the way that you want this change to occur. And then you have to regularly do breath work and vibrational healing. You can do this at home on your own for 10 minutes regularly to clear your vibration, and you will create a quantum shift, a quantum reality change. You will end up in a timeline shift of a timeline. I did it. Once upon a time, I was in a completely different timeline. Like, those that know me know the depths of the timeline that I was in. I don't want to talk about it right now, but they were depths. They were depths of timeline, depths of mental health, depths of different addictions, depths of emotional dysregulation, depths of things. And here I am now, spiritual teacher, my own therapy room, my own home, just so much more. And above all that, above all the material stuff, a peaceful internal self and a peaceful external self. So peaceful, not isolated peaceful, not I've got no one around me peaceful to the point I can navigate people in their wounding. I can be like, you can create a complete reality shift. But if you are constantly going to focus on your depths of your pain, and that's the only focus you're going to have, and you're going to keep focused on doing the same things, because where energy goes, energy flows. Where energy goes, energy flows. And I wrecked that car. Literally. Where energy goes, energy flows. So if you're going to keep putting your energy, and I had to realise this myself, you keep putting your energy into your pain, your density, this shit, that's all you're going to get. And you may feel angry at that, because somewhere along the line, you've been taught you have no power. You've been taught that you don't have power to change anything in your life. You've been taught that you have been taught you've got no power. Like, somewhere along the line, most of us in childhood have been victims of feeling powerless. Like, and it's okay to admit, you know, and this word of victim is a word that so many people are scared of and so many people run from, because no one wants to be a victim. But we've all been victims at some point. And it's important to understand when you've been a victim, so you can understand when your power was taken away from you, so you can understand how to learn to take your power back. Everyone has been a victim at some point. So for these people, for these people who are a lot like I used to be, no, I'm not a victim. I'm an independent. I'm not no, you're just sadly hiding and running from your victim feeling, because to feel powerless all over again. But the truth is, when you don't honour that victim within you, you're powerless anyway, because you're stuck in old loops, old pain, old trauma. So you can create a quantum shift in your life. Listen to this video over and over and over again and let it sink in. Let it sink in that your vibration and your energy is so fucking important that you cannot change your life if you're just going to keep sitting. It's like putting clean clothes on and underwear on and never, ever, ever showering. You're going to pong.